Welcome back. You're still watching SA Today. Now, the lobby group Not In My Name yesterday staged a protest outside the Dr. George Mukhari Academic Hospital, where a 2-year-old baby girl was allegedly molested whilst in isolation for COVID-19 in June. According to reports, the 2-year-old was referred to the hospital on June the 15th after the child exhibited signs that she was struggling to breathe. Now, to discuss this further, we're joined on the line by Senne, who's the head of communications at hashtag Not In My Name SA. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program. Such a sad story to talk about, but I just wonder, you've expressed some unhappiness about the way this matter has been handled. Take us through what your concerns have been.
So, our concern with the rape of a 2-year-old child at George Mukhari is first, the CEO's version of events are incongruent with that of the family. And secondly, the CEO only learned about the rape through media last Wednesday, although it happened on the 15th. And due to ongoing construction, 12 wards were apparently closed, while others are sharing wards as a result. This meant that only breastfeeding mothers were allowed in the ward. Secondly, the CEO claims that wards are busy, but the father says there was only his child and a premature baby in the ward. So another thing that is of concern is that the mother was called to be alerted of the child's uncontrollable cry at least twice during the night. The last call was at 9. And then the baby was seen at 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. by doctors and nurses, but nobody detected unusual behavior. Another issue is that the hospital claims that a nurse bathed the child. How did she not notice anything unusual during bathing and nappy change? And the father says that the child was not bathed at all. So there is a pedophile within the walls of George Mukhari, and they're still treating children. They're sending mothers away, but they can't protect their children. They don't have the capacity to protect their children, and everything is just business as usual. And I don't understand as well how the SAP has managed to yet again delay justice through their inability to assist speedily and decisively. Because one, SAPS did not come after the hospital calls. The family had to go there themselves. Two, SAPS claimed that they were changing, did not immediately assist. Thirdly, after the statement was taken, the officer said a team will be deployed the next day. It didn't come, so the family had to go back to the SAPS to request the IO to accompany them because the hospital refused to assist without the police presence. The investigating officer then left the family unattended without even saying, where is he going? So the last thing about this that worries me is that the case number took more than 7 days, and it was only because of the constant pulling and pushing that the family had to do, and because the community was now involved. Now, because there was a lot of noise being made, it's only when the case number was made available. So a lot of authorities here need to take account for this rape of a child.
All right, so have you confronted the hospital, and what's happening now in terms of dealing with what looks like hospital negligence?
The hospital CEO came yesterday to address Not In My Name activists, and his main concern was that, Tina, we are going to end up victimizing his staff, because there's so many people that are implicated in this. There's so many people that handled the child. His worry is just the fact that it can be anyone and everybody may be victimized. But we don't even have any clue of, firstly, the CCTV isn't there, and there has to be some kind of access control within the hospital. So the CEO was just there to show face, to say that he did come and address us. There's nothing, honestly, that I feel he said that made anybody feel better. And on top of that, his story is incongruent with that of the family. So I can't trust anything that he said yesterday.
Has the child been examined, and that it's been confirmed that some kind of sexual molestation took place?
Yes, the child's medical report was confirmed actually that the child was raped, and that was at another clinic whereby they ended up having to take them back to George Mukhari now to say, listen, we took a child to the clinic. The nurse confirmed that this child was raped. We're back here. We need assistance. And then there was a constant back and forth between the hospital, the family, and the SAPS, and both SAPS and the hospital were not really assisting. So it's been more than 3 weeks, and you want to tell me that you don't know who raped the child, and the wards are still open. You're still sending mothers away, even though you don't have the capacity to take care of the children that you're leaving there by themselves. It doesn't make sense to me, so somebody needs to account.
And also the police have been found wanting, according to what you're telling us. And I just wonder, have you escalated this as well, perhaps to the commissioner, maybe even the minister?
The CEO yesterday, when he was addressing us, he mentioned a couple of police officers, major generals, and he didn't want to give us the names, but this matter has been escalated to high ranks, especially by the way that he was speaking. So, my worry is that because the SAPS is not compliant with the Domestic Violence Act, they're not going to act speedily. They don't understand what is it exactly that we're dealing with. For instance, we've had magistrates who have sent or who've given perpetrators less sentences, saying that the child was not, they don't have tangible evidence, and the child was not traumatized enough, so they are suspending sentences. So, you see, if we're living in a country where internally people believe that this is something that can be normalized, that is normalized, even if we escalate this to Bigicele, I don't think that hospital is going to tell us who the perpetrator is. They are protecting someone, and they're making it look like it's some sort of internal investigation. It shouldn't take this long to tell us who was handling the child, who had control into isolation. I mean, this is not even like a typical case where you were just in the ward. They were isolated. How many people have access to that facility, to that ward? Why are you not telling us?
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, but thanks so much indeed for making sure that this story gets heard, and let's hope that the authorities respond accordingly and that justice is served. That was Senne, who's with the action group Not In My Name.